6. Off the fake to Lacey. Rodgers fires downfield for Nelson. And Jordy Nelson takes it in for a Packers touchdown as he beat Webb 64 yards from Rodgers to Nelson.
Oh, Packer fans would love to hear that again soon. We've got a Packer fan in our midst. His name is Matthew. He's a special guest of ours. His mom, Doreen, is here with him. Thanks to the wonderful folks at the BC Yukon branch of Make-A-Wish, and we salute Ross Hetherington and the gang, the CEO. Matthew recently had a wish come true. 2012 grad from Holy Cross. Comes in here in his Green Bay Packers T-shirt. What was the wish?
Oh, well, I was a wish for going down to Lambeau Field. I was always been a fan of Green Bay, and the frozen tundra was always one place that, most people, I think, that like football would love to go. And, for a little while, it was kind of difficult to come up with what was my wish. What was it going to be? And I remember me and my dad were watching Sunday Night Football and trying to come up with ideas, and finally that one clicked. Go down to Green Bay and see a game.
This was recent. This was November 3rd?
Two weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago,
This is recent.
Yeah, very, very recent, just 2 weeks ago.
So what was it like, and what was involved in the trip?
Oh, wow. Amazing. I think it was definitely amazing. We flew in on Friday. Then on Saturday, we got to go down to the stadium and got a personal tour of the field and the boxes and just what's underneath where all the players meet and eat lunch, and the locker room. And one thing that was really cool, when I went into the locker room, I was breathless, just kind of taking it all in as I was walking around.
Players in there, players not in there?
Players not in there.
Okay.
They were at practice. And one of the Make-A-Wish people from Wisconsin, Sarah, asked me if I wanted a photo by anyone's locker. So I'm looking around, trying to find Clay Matthews, who's my favorite player, Aaron Rodgers, and I'm kind of just turning around, staring at all the different names, and I come across Aaron Rodgers' locker. And to the left of his, I saw my name. And it said McKinnon, and a jersey with my name hanging right beside Aaron Rodgers' locker.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
that was one moment that was kind of just wow. It was really, really cool.
And then was that the same? That was the Saturday. Now, the game was a Monday night game, right?
It was a Monday night game.
So you were there for the Monday night game.
Yeah.
And then later that day, you actually met your idol, and you also met Aaron Rodgers?
That was on Saturday, actually. Okay. On Saturday, after we kind of had the tour of the field and everything, we went down and took a ride over to the where they were practicing, the practice field, and we got to see them practicing. And Aaron Rodgers came over and talked with my dad, talked with me. I got to throw a football with Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers over on the sidelines as the defense was practicing. And then after the practice was over, they called me out onto the field. And, I didn't think they were very big. From watching them, they didn't seem like a very large team. And then I was in the middle of them all while they were doing the huddle. And they're big guys. But they had me break down the huddle, and then they formed a gauntlet. And typically for Make-A-Wish, you get smaller kids, 13
Sure.
younger, and I'm 18, not a very small kid. And typically they'll have the child, run through and high five all the players. It's awesome to be there, right? So you're excited. But Aaron Rodgers handed me a practice football, and Kathy, who's the head of PR who gave us the tour and everything, typically she'll videotape it and back up the gauntlet as you're high fiving the players. But I had played football in high school. So when someone gives you a football and you're running through a gauntlet, they're trying to take it away. So I was holding on, and I ducked my shoulders and started running through. And the first few players didn't really know what was going on. And then they kind of caught on, and he's trying to take the football away. And Kathy's trying to back up as fast as she can, and she's in high heels. She nearly falls. But then from there, we got to have lunch with the team. We headed back to the stadium, and as they cycled.
You're out there with the players. I just got to. Are you? What is actually going through your mind? Are you having a tough time believing that you're actually there, or were you able to actually soak up the moment, or was it kind of once you got removed, maybe on the plane back home, you went, did that just happen?
You know what? It was one to remember. Like I'm not going to forget that. Definitely, it was an amazing experience, and I think it's still kind of sinking in that I've been to Lambeau Field, that I've sat and talked with Aaron Rodgers and Clay Matthews and some of my favorite players on on Green Bay.
What'd you talk to them about?
Well, we were sitting there, and they kind of came over as they were having lunch, and what did we talk to them about? So much. Football, of course, football, the upcoming game. Actually, one question that we asked Clay Matthews is who he thought the most difficult person to tackle was for a quarterback, and he said Drew Brees, which was quite interesting. And then Aaron Rodgers, he's not what I expected.
What do you mean?
He's very cerebral, but he's very genuine as well. He's a very, very nice guy, very nice man. But
were you nervous?
Yes, definitely. I was quite fortunate, actually. My dad, he loves to talk. He loves to ask questions. I'm sure he's listening right now, laughing into himself. But we have video footage of talking with Clay Matthews and Aaron Rodgers, and I'm sitting there just listening, just smiling, and he's just going and keeping the conversation going, which I'm very thankful for because I didn't know what to say. I was speechless, right? And it's still sinking in. Definitely.
And you went to the game on the Monday night, of course.
The Monday night, yeah.
Which didn't go so well.
Unfortunately not. Yeah, no, we got to actually get tickets to go to Brett Favre's Steakhouse for a tailgate party just before the game, and then we got to go down a little bit early, about an hour before kickoff, and got to meet Kathy again, and she took us down onto the field during their warm-up. And so we got to, hang out down there and watch them as they practice before the game, and then Ryan Dempster actually came over and said hi to me. And, he had just won the World Series, right? And Kathy came over, introduced him to me, and my dad was all excited because he loves the World Series. And I got to tell him all about my story and get photos with him. And then after he left, not too long after, Aaron Rodgers came over. And I got to go out onto the field, and he's all in his gear and everything. And I got to get a photo with him there. And that was just, on the field just before the game.
Oh.
That was amazing.
So what's Lambeau Field like? I guess for you, given the experience you were having, it probably looked like the absolute ultimate shrine, but maybe whether you'd met Aaron Rodgers and Clay Matthews going into the game or not, maybe it would have looked that way anyway. But
you know what?
Sum up the experience.
Well, to go back to what the stadium's like, it's amazing because down underneath the stadium, they have photos of the progression of it being expanded and just how it started from just a field and then the stands and then more and more and more. And it's just really, really cool. But the experience altogether, unforgettable.
Yeah.
Incredible. I don't think I would have gotten the same kind of experience at any other organization. Green Bay, they know how to do it right.
Are they going to make the playoffs?
Oh.
The Bears are a game up on them, so are the Lions. They're 5-5. They've lost 3 in a row.
I know.
I don't want to blame you.
Oh, well, you know what? I have a bad track record with Green Bay Packers game. I was at the game with Seattle last year when the
officials get that call right?
Oh, no. Actually, that was one question we asked Aaron Rodgers was about that game, and he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We won that game. I don't know. That's how I remember. We won that game.
That's the way they look at it.
Yeah.
Did you see the Make-A-Wish last week in San Francisco?
I did. The Bat Kid.
What was going through your mind watching that?
Lucky. Actually, that was incredible. Just how, especially the volunteers, how they all came together to get that done for him. And he's 5 or 6 years old.
Yeah,
right?
It was awesome. Seeing the city come alive like
that.
Yeah, was just
exactly,
phenomenal.
and just come together. And Make-A-Wish is an incredible organization.
Your cancer is being maintained. Is that the correct terminology?
I'm in maintenance at the
Okay.
moment. Yeah, so every 3 months I go in for an MRI and make sure there's no progression or anything to see if there's any change. And that goes for about 2 years after finishing treatment. And I finished my radiation January 26th. So 2 years from then, and I'll be in remission.
You're looking good.
I'm looking good.
Trending positively.
As best as I can.
What can you say about the Make-A-Wish folks? I mean, you've obviously sort of touched on it, telling about what happened, but what has this meant for you in terms of your road back?
Make-A-Wish is an incredible organization, and just with what they're able to do, it's amazing. For bringing me back.
You're only 19 years old, and you've had the experience of a lifetime, haven't you?
I'm only 18.
18.
Yeah,
18.
No, it's definitely an experience of a lifetime for sure.
You're going to Kwantlen College now?
I am.
What do you want to do?
Originally, I had decided that I wanted to do engineering, but with things kind of changed my mind there. I was going to take a year off, but my sisters convinced me to do schooling, and I decided, okay, I'll go to Kwantlen, and so I'm in business right now.
Good for you.
I'm thinking of sales.
I think you'll do good at it.
Well, I enjoy talking.
You're comfortable.
As much as I can.
You do this job pretty well.
Well, whatever you can give me, Barry.
Did you take lots of pictures in Green Bay?
Definitely, actually. That's one thing Make-A-Wish gave me as kind of a care package for my way there, was a camera, an HD camera, 55 times zoom, and built-in projector, and tons of photos, tons of video, and that's one thing I really want to go home and kind of put it all together and get a solid video of everything.
Well, we wish you well every step of the way.
Yeah,
thank you for coming in to share your experience. And obviously the folks at Make-A-Wish do a lot of things awfully well. And
they do indeed.
And you can vouch for that.
Absolutely.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks very much,
Thanks
Barry.
a lot, Matthew.
We'll
take a break. Thanks to Matthew McKinnon and his mom, Doreen, for coming in to share their stories about Make-A-Wish, an unbelievable trip to Green Bay, Wisconsin, even if the Packers finished on the wrong end of the scoreboard on a Monday nighter against the Chicago Bears. 2:29 now on the Team 1040.
From the 36, off the fake to Lacey. Rodgers fires downfield for Nelson, and Jordy Nelson takes it in for a Packers touchdown as he beat Webb 64 yards from Rodgers.